Hi Aries, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I am going to be doing your beginning to mid of June 2022 reading for you. Now I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will all be listed in the description box below. Now before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. This cleanse and meditation will be accompanied by a loud sound. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds. Letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. So let's start off, Aries, with the energy that we have to be mindful of during this time. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. We have right here the Magician. Oh, that's very interesting. So the first thing I got instantaneously from Spirit is like, don't try to do too much, because you're really going to listen your spark. There's going to be something here, Aries, where you're like, I can do this, I can do that. Don't worry, I'm just going to keep pushing and pushing and pushing. And you do have this magic to you. You do have this brilliance to you. You're able to pull off a lot. Be very mindful with how much you're putting on your plate, because that's going to show through during this time if you don't let yourself rest, recuperate, recover, have joyful, happy moments as well. That's going to be very important. Then we also have here this sense, I just see somebody coming in and like pushing you aside and saying, oh no, I can do what you can't. And it's like, okay, but prove it. Like, it's not even okay. So don't let this person push you aside, because that just isn't right. They want to be able to shine like the Magician. They want to be able to be that powerful, creative, kind of industrious Renaissance person that you are. Like the term Renaissance man just keeps on coming up. You can do a lot, or you can, and for some it's like a little bit of a lot of things, but you could do that little bit really, really well. But there's some that are just, here, Aries, it's really showing that there are some of you who are just like astoundingly brilliant, and you really have to take in that brilliance. I don't want to say everyone, because Spirit's saying don't put that on everybody's shoulder. Oh, you're supposed to be brilliant with everything. No, some of us are really good at doing certain things and really skilled at those certain things, and others can just kind of like tilt their head. I'm just seeing one of my brothers is like this. Like, he can tilt his head, and he's like, oh, okay, I got it. And he has it. He knows everything about it. So, just be mindful. There's that type of energy coming forward for you, where you can look at things, you can see things a lot better. You don't have to go so deep into everything. Sometimes just a little bit of knowledge, or sometimes just a little deep, is going to be perfect for you. Okay, so let's look at our chakra energy. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. This is visualization. Now, I have linked in the description box below, I know you guys have heard this before, but The Law and the Promise, that book is free on YouTube. Listen to it. This is about visualization. It really helps with the visualization. It's the imagination. For some reason, the term imagination just makes so much more sense to me. It's really helped me out, and I really, really enjoy that book. So here with the third eye chakra, opening up the visualization to what I want, what I desire, how I want to move forward and live my life, that's going to be very important that we start to see it first. It's visualizing it. It's honoring it within ourselves. It's opening up that door. And it's not losing faith. So that's going to be very, very, very important for us. So let's look here what the tarot has to say. Ooh, okay, angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides, angels. So we have a Celtic cross spread. I'm just going to turn everything over at once. Okay. So what we're starting with here is where we are right now. And this is the Ace of Swords. We're at a point right now in our lives where God, Source, Spirit, however you see the divine, the universe, is really handing us a gift of knowledge, insight, understanding. There's a sense that we're diving deeper into things. Also, a lot of doubts, fears, and negativity is being cut away. We're finding our voice and we're accepting and honoring that voice, which is very, very important to us. There's an energy here of asking more questions, diving more deeply, looking at things from different angles. But again, the power of our voice, the power of what we are saying, what we need to say, what needs to come forward, that is going to be an integral part of where we are at this very moment. So even focusing on the throat chakra is going to be highly beneficial for us. Meditating on the third eye chakra, the throat chakra, that is going to be something that's very important. Now, our challenge is quite interesting because it's the King of Wands. Now, the King of Wands is fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. It is us right here, right now. And this is the highest level court card. So we're having a hard time, and that can be why the Magician is something that we have to be mindful of. We're having a hard time really claiming and seeing our power, especially when it comes to our work, when it comes to our fire, our passion, what we want. We're going to have a hard time truly believing in ourselves completely. Now, this can be in relationships, this can be in our careers, this can be in our hobbies. There's going to be this doubt. Now, either we look this doubt straight in the eye and we say, I see you, and I'm not going to be stopped by you, or we ignore this doubt and we let it grow. So just those are the two options that Spirit is giving. But there's also a real sense of, I need to embrace my voice, my insight, my ideas, what I need right here and right now for me. Now it brings us then to what we are focusing on. Now this is the Knight of Wands. We are really focusing on a movement forward. And with the Knight of Wands, it's a real sense of, I need to move, I need to, again, embrace what I want. This is us coming through now as a knight. And that can also be why we have a little bit of a hard time with the king being our power source, because the king is the developed, right? The developed knight. And we might not feel like we're that developed yet. We can still feel like, no, I still need to keep pushing, or no, I still need to look at things from different angles. No, I still need to do X, Y, Z. And so this is the second fastest moving knight. And so we are making progress. We are moving forward. But there is this sense of, I still need to defend. I still need to work towards this. I still need to go after this. It can be that we're really going for a powerful position, even just within our own bodies. It's like, I want to be that power source, that fire, that brilliance. And what's coming around us is, okay, I still have work to do. And that's why we find it a challenge to be that powerful force instantaneously, because we are embracing the energy of the night. I still have work to do. I still have to push myself forward. I still have things that I'm defending and looking at and going after. Now, it brings us to our past. We're taking a lot of knowledge, we're taking a lot of insights, and we're moving forward with them. Our past was, and remember, this is up to June is our past. And our past brings us to this energy understanding of, okay, I've been working towards something, and I need to take this knowledge with me, but I need to kind of leave certain things in the past. I need to walk away from certain things that are, I just see them breaking you down. It's kind of like you thought these people, and I see it mostly as people, you thought these people were going to be on your side. You thought that there was a very certain way of going after things, doing things, accomplishing things, and you've been proven wrong. So that's going to be something that's a little bit intense during this time. Okay, well, how do I still move forward? How do I still get to where it is that I need to be? Was I wrong? Am I still going to be wrong? But it's like, no, now you're taking this knowledge and you're moving forward with it. And you're actually going to see so much of what happened in the past guiding you to make better decisions in your future. And that's a really, really good thing. Now, your strength here with the Three of Cups, I always see the Three of Cups a bit differently. So the Three of Cups for me is when people have held up their glass and said, I celebrate you, and they haven't meant it. So in our Three of Cups, we can really be focusing on that person, that energy of these people didn't celebrate me. They were supposed to. They were supposed to be my friends. They were supposed to be, they were my caregivers, my parents, my teachers, my mentors. They were supposed to celebrate me, but they couldn't. And here, there is an understanding of that energy that comes over us. And it's like, okay, that energy, that person, that space, that career, that group, they couldn't celebrate me. They couldn't give me what I needed to grow as an individual. Are there people around me who have? Do I pay them as much attention as I do the chaotic energy that isn't feeding me correctly, that isn't moving me forward correctly, but that I feel kind of like in psychology, they say with children, most children will try to please the abusive parent, then they will try to please the parent that's always on their side because they want that parent to like them that doesn't. So just realizing that that's kind of built into us. If we do it as children, then it's built into us as human beings to win people over, to get them to like us. And we need to say, you know what, no, I'm stepping out of that energy. I'm stepping out of that space. Either you celebrate me or you don't celebrate me, which is fine. But I celebrate me. And that's the most important thing. And it moves us then to our near future. And this is the Six of Wands. This is celebration. This is beauty. This is intensity. This is like, yep, I am celebrating me. And I am absolutely positively loving who I am. End stop. No doubts. No questions about it. Now, our suggested approach is the Four of Coins. The Four of Coins, the Four of Pentacles, for me is the vampiric energy coming in. It's like, okay, I'm going to steal this from you, so you're going to think I have to hold on to everything because it always feels like things are falling away. The things that are falling away, the energy that's moving away from us, the tiredness, the feeling overwhelmed, stress, anxious. This comes because there is toxic energy within our lives that is pulling us down, that is stopping us from really being the people that we want to be. And so our suggested approach is to look at what we're spending our energy on, what we're spending our time on, how our surroundings look, and say, is this promoting peace and tranquility, or is this promoting chaos and discord? So that's going to be really, really appropriate and important for this time. What we need to know, we're ending something. There is a really big ending. Now, with the Eight of Cups, we're walking away from something we once thought we would love. It once fit, it was once perfect, but I always equate the Eight of Cups to a pair of shoes. That's always how Spirit gives me that imagery. Because when you put on a pair of shoes that are too small and they just hurt and you can't walk in them and then you get all crabby and grouchy because your feet hurt you and it's hard to take a step forward, that's what the Eight of Cups is for me. Because it makes it hard to move forward. It makes it hard to take that step. But once we realize, wow, it's the shoes, right? I'm not wearing the proper equipment for me. I'm not taking care of myself the way that I need to. It's like, take off the shoes and oh my gosh, now I can run. Take off the shoes, take an Epsom salt bath, and now my feet feel so much better. So we need to acknowledge that energy within us with the Eight of Cups. We need to leave something behind. There is a powerful and profound ending that came in rather abruptly, and we were fighting it. We were fighting against it, or we were proving our point. Now it's like, okay, you know what? Point proven. Now I need to move on for me. That person can stay stuck in that angry, bitter energy for as long as they want to. I need to move forward for me. Now our hopes and our fears are the King of Coins. The King of Coins, the King of Pentacles, Earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. This is prosperity, success, bounty, abundance. Again, the highest court card when it comes to the Pentacles. And we want that wealth. We want that ability to look at situations and see how to diversify our funds, make more money for us. It's kind of like embracing the hustle culture without burning ourselves out. It's like, okay, how do I need to go about embracing my wealth, what I need, what I want, what I love, without being afraid to. Now, I'm also seeing a hopes and a fears. The hope is that I make more money. But, and that's so interesting. The fear is also like, what if I succeed? What if I get there? What if I, do XYZ and it's a success? What do I do then? For some of us, not all Aries, that question really does arise. What do I do then? And how do I react to it? For others of us, there's almost a blockage around us being powerful individuals. It was either we were taught that we needed somebody to take care of us, or that this was somebody else's responsibility, or that, you know, we never make it. We're always the people behind the scenes, or the people who always get overlooked. It's like, no more. My hope is that I become this powerful person. But I fear it just at the same exact time, because it almost goes against my personal identity. And that's something we really need to look at. Now, it could also be that we were disabled and we were told, you know, you're never going to be successful. So looking at why we can't let ourselves shine as the King of Pentacles, that is going to be so important during this time. If we can just, you know, sit for just a few moments and say to ourselves, why can't I be the King of Pentacles? And really ask ourselves that question. What comes up instantaneously? Write it down. Write it down, because that's going to be your blockage, your fear coming forward. And it's going to be negating, canceling out our hopes. So let's look at our potential future. And this is the Wheel of Fortune. This is things changing. This is a new season coming in. This is new bounty coming forward. This is a real sense of, all right, now things are different. And that's going to be really important for us. We're having a new season come in. We're having a new prosperity come in. We're having a new bounty come in. And that is letting us shine in just a way that is so powerful, so beautiful, and so openly and honestly us. The Wheel of Fortune, we can also be afraid of our future because we know that there's a lot of change coming and we can feel it. So for some of us, we're going to want to put on the brakes. It's like, no, I don't want things to change, or no, I don't want this to move me forward. I just can't handle it, you know, or I want things to stay exactly as they are. Embrace this change, because I don't see it as a bad thing. I see it as more of a curious thing of exploration and insight and real empowerment. Okay. So during this time, we also have to remember that Mercury retrograde comes to an end. Now, yes, we do go into our shadow period, but Mercury retrograde was from the 10th of May to the 3rd of June. And now we'll be in the shadow period till the 18th. But by the end of this beginning to mid of June time period, yes, it's a little bit over the mid section, there's a real sense of stepping into a more powerful voice. But what I also find is that because we're going into Gemini month, right? We're going into a Gemini time period. Gemini is ruled by Mercury. What we're going to find is that a lot of things that haven't been said, a lot of things that haven't been moving us forward, they start coming up. They start kind of bleeding to the surface. And then we start to see what was painted underneath, like what we kind of wanted to hide away, but we couldn't hide it away. It's kind of like when you paint over a wall and you don't get the right paint, or you don't prime the wall correctly, and you paint over this color, and then, or you paint words on the wall and then you paint over it thinking, oh, I'm going to be so cute and creative, and then the words come through. That's what I'm seeing here. Something that we thought we had dealt with because of the Mercury retrograde, because of us being, in a time frame ruled by Mercury, we're going to see, oh no, it didn't come through. It's bleeding through. What do I need to see? What did I try to hide from myself? And what needs to be spoken now that is absolutely truth and insightful and powerful for me. So let's look at the tarot a little bit more deeply. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. So we have our past, our present, and our future coming through. The past energy is the Wheel of Fortune, so we've already been through a really big change. Our present energy is the Five of Swords, very interesting. And then we have the Tower in our future. So this is a time of change, and we know it. We feel it like in our bones. We feel this change coming. So what we have here with our future, with our past, is the Wheel of Fortune. And there's this real sense of things have changed. We entered into a new season. There was an ending and a beginning, which is what we're going to be entering into again. And we know this. There's almost a sense of, there's not that settling period that we want. There's always a pushing. So there's Spirit's saying, be very mindful of burnout, be very mindful of burning the candles at both ends, and you're going to be burning multiple candles. So, Aries, there can really be burnout here. So just be aware of that. Our present is we have the Five of Swords. We're facing a battle we have battled before. All right? And we're not really happy about it. There's a real sense of, are you kidding me? Like this again? You know, it's kind of like you dealt with a person and they come back and they're still ornery and you know, kind of like, you know, spit in vinegar type of thing. And you're like, oh my goodness, are you kidding me? Like you didn't get the message the first time. That's what's going to happen. I really do see it with one person coming forward or one situation where it's like, you didn't get the message. You didn't understand. And there's a sorrow to it because we thought we had a really good connection with this person or with this, you know, kind of venture, this idea, this moving forward. And I see it more as a person, but it's going to be something that was very personal to us. And now we're having to fight it. Now we're having to really sit there and say, you know what? No, I won. I have this knowledge. I have this understanding. I have this determination, and not feel guilty about it. The guilt is going to be a big thing. Okay? Coming forward, Aries. It moves us then to the Tower. This is our future. Something is going to blow our minds. I don't see this Tower as a bad thing at all. I see it as like mind blown, jaw on the floor type of thing. Like, are you kidding me? Like, really? Seriously? This is how it's progressing? And it's just going to take you by surprise. So just be very, very aware that that surprise comes forward. Just also be aware that during this time, even if we think, oh, this is set in stone, nothing is going to change, it's exactly the way it's going to be, there are a lot of changing, you know, moving energy around us. And as we embrace the fact that, you know, all is flux and nothing stays the same, we're going to be embracing the fact that a lot of this energy around us is changing and growing, and that we, during this very short period of time, are changing and growing and seeing things in such a different way that it really does surprise us. Now it moves us to our subconscious energy. Now our subconscious energy for this whole entire reading is the Six of Cups. We need to not let the past become the only way we judge our future. So there's something here with the Six of Cups is the past is coming through. I see it as somebody trying to work off of like guilt and manipulation. Like, we had such a great past together, you know, let's bury the hatchet, you know, let's move things together, or let's move forward. This person does not have your best interests at heart. They have just kind of worked out that you're the best that they can do. Either in a relationship, either in a business partner, either in, you know, a friendship. They're like, wow, this person was really great. I didn't see it until it was too late. And it doesn't mean that they will not have their little, like, you know, tiffy, angry moments where they decide, once again, you're not as good as they are, and they're going to play their mean games. So just be aware of that. Also be aware that we can be very nostalgic, wanting to play off of the past. The past isn't as good as we are remembering it, so just be aware of that. It then moves us to our subconscious past energy. We were going through a lot of change, really entering into a new season, but we were also really caught in our own mind. And that is something that we need to acknowledge. Being caught in our own mind, overthinking things, overanalyzing things, you know, just kind of going over things over and over and over again until we made a cage for ourselves of worry and fear and doubt and apprehension. It brings us then to our subconscious present energy, and that's the Two of Swords. I really see this as scissors. Like, I see it. I don't know if somebody who's watching this is a seamstress, or you're very, you know, you're starting to get into sewing, or you're somebody in your past was a seamstress, a tailor, costume designer, something like that, because I'm just seeing grand, like there's a grand spirit to them. Okay? But this is like a big scissor, and they're cutting something. Some sort of pattern is going to be seen, all right? But a new path forward that you didn't expect is showing itself to you. And again, some sort of pattern, some sort of like, oh, that's why I had to go through all of that, is being seen here. So that's going to be very important. It moves us then to our future energy, which is the Three of Pentacles. Our subconscious future energy is working together. We can't work on things just by ourselves. It's not going to work out the way that we want to. It needs to be a team effort. That team effort is going to be so important for us. And even if that team effort isn't like a team of people getting together, but if we're calling a person and just kind of like bouncing ideas off of them, or handing them, you know, a draft of something that we've written or something that we've drawn and said, oh, what do you think about this? And what do you think of the colors there? Or how do you like the cut of this? That's going to be important. And it could also be scientifically. I'm just seeing like, okay, well, what do you think of this idea? And did you work with that product before? Or how about like, you know, the calibrating of this? there's something here where in our future it's going to be very important to bounce these ideas off. This is a time where like you kind of have to, it's like, I'm just hearing, get your team put together, get your team put together. So I don't know if for some listening, you actually are comprising a team to work with, or you're going to be on a team, okay, for some sort of sporting event. But there's also this sense of know your people. Like, know who you can rely on, know who you can trust, because that's one of your greatest strengths during this time, Aries, is that you really see people for who they are, not for just how they want you to perceive them. You're calling out a lot of BS during this time, which is great. So let's look at the energy we are to be mindful of. It's so interesting. The Ten of Pentacles. Ooh, the Ten of Pentacles with a tower. Okay? Like, Spirit's just like, pick up the second card, Dane. And so we listen. There's something here where you thought, oh, I had this all figured out. And then the top was blown off of it. It just completely changed. Now, it could have been that there was, like, life was, there was a steadiness to things, and then everything fell apart, you know, and it just all kind of snowballed as things do when trauma happens. But there can also be the sense of, this was supposed to work, and then it's changed. So just be really, really mindful of counting the chickens before they're hatched, but also of thinking it can only be this one way. Because if you have been through a trauma, if you have been through something where you thought, okay, it's all set up, you know, and everything's great, and it all fell apart, you're going to be rebuilding, and you now have a stronger foundation than you ever did before. And that is a really powerful thing. It moves us then to our subconscious chakra energy. Remember the throat chakra came up? Here it is, communication. The throat chakra coming through once again. We need to communicate, we need to talk, we need to see, we need to listen. We need to communicate with ourselves. What do I want? What do I need? What's important to me? We need to communicate with others, yes. But we also need to know that we're going to be communicating on a much higher level. We're going to be picking up a lot of things from a lot of different people. A lot of different ideas are coming forward. And that's going to be something that's very important for us, to look at things with open eyes, with new eyes, and with a greater compassion. Okay. All right, Aries. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I am sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power, intensity, and beauty of this time and of ourselves. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Aries, and may blessings always be with you.